Welcome, I'm Faiz Rahman and this is Cafe DC. Today we have a guest who has spent a lot of time here in these states of America, and also he is one of the longest serving federal minister in Pakistan in one ministry. He's a senator and he's here with us today. So let's find out about his current trip and his overall impression about the community and what the community has done in so many years while he was here in exile in the 90s. Senator Babar Ghori, thank you very much for joining us. Well, what brings you here in this trip?
First of all, your program is Cafe DC and I'm missing the coffee and tea.
Exactly.
So, next time.
We'll make sure that you will have. No, but right after the program, we'll go and have a cup of coffee.
Okay, that's fine.
Because we're doing it outdoor.
I need your rain check.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for inviting me in Cafe DC. This purpose of this visit, actually, the Senate of Pakistan under the, Chairman Senate, the delegation is here in the United States, Nair Bukhari, and we were attending the United Nations hearing for IPU post 2015 program for sustained development.
I see.
So if they have some programs and there was a hearing for that sustainable development. So we were in New York and
so
attending
they're also
that program.
is it about just the reports that they do for Pakistan?
Yeah,
or?
actually they're not for Pakistan, for all over the world, and they are making some programs and recommendations. So that's why they want to hear the parliamentarians' advice also or recommendations. So we present our advices and questions and interventions in the IPU here.
What is your committee in the Senate, in Pakistani Senate?
In Foreign Affairs.
Foreign Affairs. So you are basically
one of the members of the Foreign Affairs Committee. Yeah.
Okay. And so how did you find the overall climate at the United States towards Pakistan at this point?
Actually, for the Pakistan, that depends on the Pakistanis. So if we are doing something wrong, so why they have an interest in Pakistan? Like NATO supplies issue, everybody is saying stop NATO supply, stop NATO supply, but they don't know what is NATO supply.
Right, exactly. But during your visit at the United Nations, what were the issues that you discussed in particular?
Basically,
for example, they want to like...
Yeah, basically they want to, actually if you want to sustainable growth or development, so the key issue is law and order. And we are facing a lot of problem on law and order. We can't control. As you saw in Pindi, what happened over there, in Karachi, in Quetta, 150,000 people migrated from Quetta to Punjab and Karachi.
150,000?
150,000 people
in how many
migrated
months
in 3 years.
In just 3 years.
So how come you explain the world that, okay, come over here, invest over there, or we will achieve our goals? I don't think so.
But when you say Pakistan is facing law and order situation, of course, one issue is having to do with the wars that the country has been involved with, the war on terror. Afghanistan is a major issue. So do you think, is it just Pakistan's and Pakistan's administration's fault that the country is failing in law and order situation? It's also the overall international environment that's affecting.
I don't think so, international environment. This is the failure of the administrations, failure of the will of the law enforcement agencies. They must come forward and, if they have a will, they can do anything. So I don't think so. The issues are only on border, not a whole in the country like city in Karachi, Quetta, Lahore.
But because of also politics and some other...
We have some problem from the extremist and religious parties. They are in politics, and this is the time now. Now here is the time. People should stand together and say, no, enough is enough. So now we don't want any Islamic party or any extremist party in politics. Like Bangladesh Supreme Court, they impose a ban on all Islamic parties to participate in election in the name of Islam. So this is the time I think we should, stand together.
Yeah, absolutely. But Bangladesh is a different story.
But Bangladesh, used to be Pakistan.
Right. Yes, used to be.
So same nature,
Exactly.
same culture, almost.
Senator Ghori, you have spent a lot of time here in America. I think in the 90s you
Yeah.
lived in Los Angeles, California.
When I was in exile.
You were in exile.
Due to the,
Probably self-imposed exile.
you can say the self-imposed, to save
Self-exile.
our lives.
You were
so,
self-exiled
yeah.
in California.
Yeah.
And you have seen, and then you've been coming, here almost like every year or so you come here, not just for your official meetings, but you also meet with the community members. What progress you have seen? Have you noticed all these years that the community has come a long way? Yes, we have more businesses, we have more organizations.
America, land of opportunity. So if you work hard, you will get more. And I'm quite happy that whenever I, visit USA, I saw everybody is progressing, and so like more Pakistani in business, more Pakistani, now in the American politics.
They're
So,
exactly, they're
yeah,
candidates, they're
yeah,
like
they're candidates
mayors.
and the difference here and in Pakistan, they allow you as a dual national to participate in politics, in local council member election, or in House of Commons, even in Canada, in UK. Either you are Pakistani or British, or either you're Pakistani or American, either you're Pakistani
You can
or
have
Canadian.
dual nationality
You can have
here,
a dual
yes.
nationality by law. In Pakistan, there is a question mark for the overseas Pakistani. Why?
Yeah,
Are
there's.
they not patriot?
I mean, this is something. Which
Yeah, I
bothers-
don't know why. This all political, stands over there. So we are fighting for that. Most probably
have
we
you
will bring
introduced
a new.
something
Yeah,
from
we
your
already
party?
have some constitutional amendment in the Senate and National Assembly to allow all Pakistani, overseas Pakistani, to participate in Pakistan in election. Okay, you can ban like president, prime minister, foreign minister, and interior minister if you want. I don't mind for that. But if you want, then you can ban on these posts, and otherwise you can allow all Pakistani. So we are bringing amendment. So hopefully.
But Baba Sahib, I mean, forget about having an office in Pakistan. Overseas Pakistanis even haven't gotten the right to vote.
Yes.
And I have been hearing so much about this issue for a long time.
When Mr. Farooq Sattar, one of my party colleague, and he was overseas minister, so he introduced a bill and passed the resolution from the Senate and National Assembly, and now the Supreme Court also allowed for and on his request for the right of vote for the overseas Pakistani. But the last election there was a problem of the voter list. So hopefully next election, inshallah, you will vote.
Pakistanis will be,
definitely.
overseas Pakistanis
Why
will
not?
be-
Why not?
Well, let's see. I think at this point we'll take a short break and then probably
Go outside.
go outside, have some coffee. No, I mean, we'll definitely do something about that coffee. And we'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome back. So we are talking to Senator Babar Ghori, who is here with us in Washington on a trip. He was here on a trip to the United Nations, and we are happy that you're here. Thank you, sir, once again. So how was the coffee during the break?
Starbucks coffee.
Absolutely. Okay. So yes, overseas Pakistanis vote. That's a big issue for the Pakistani American community.
I think maybe you remember that at the time of Prime Minister visit in USA, our Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif Saab, he also promised to
this was raised
to the
a
overseas
few times with
community,
him as well.
overseas Pakistanis, that they will bring a new bill in Parliament for right of vote and for the dual nationalities issue. So hopefully this time we will resolve this issue with the support of the Prime Minister of Pakistan.
What is another issue that a lot of overseas Pakistanis face and always complain about is when they go back, try to invest money in Pakistan in different businesses, they face a lot of red tape, bureaucracy, and then some briberies and stuff. So people ask for all kinds of favors. What do you think of those issues? I mean, of course, you must be hearing.
You're right. A lot of problems, red tapeism, even as a federal minister, if you don't have any courage or you don't have any command or you don't have a leadership, so the bureaucrats will, give you a lot of if and buts for any kind of issue, on any business of the your ministry or any ministry. So, but depend on the minister or the prime minister or the cabinet. If they have a writ, they want to establish a writ, nobody can make any red tapeism.
So can you share some of the stories from Europe? Because you spend I think more than 10 years in your ministry. You're the longest serving minister.
One time, one investor came to me and he was saying that we are going to bring LNG, floating LNG terminal in the Port Qasim, and investors are in Pakistan. I say, oh no, most welcome, bring them to my office. And they came to me and I say, what you want? He said, I need a letter from you, your Port Qasim, that we need some space for that. Okay, he asked me how much time you need. I said, why, what do you mean by time? You will get tomorrow morning, within 24 hours. He was surprised. And my chairman was there, because his name was Admiral Asad Qureshi. He said, sir, I say, okay, issue the allotment letter. If you need some kind of documents or any formalities you need, so put down in the bottom that subject to completion of all the documents. So he was
at
happy.
least get the ball rolling, start the process.
Rolling, and the investor was very happy. Okay, I was surprised in Pakistan, within 24 hours you resolve our issue. So this is the way out. So if you want to do, so you can do.
There were also talks of like establishing a one window operation for different kinds of investments in different ministries.
Yeah, basically the investment bureau, the Bureau of Investment, BOI, that's their job. But unfortunately, most of time they failed.
I mean, the issue is overseas Pakistanis, including Pakistani Americans, they send a lot of remittances to Pakistan.
Over 12 to 14 billion dollars a year from the overseas Pakistani, different part of the world, mostly from Arab countries, Middle East, and then America and UK and other part of.
But a lot from North America, and of course, other countries as well. But they need some kind of again, some sympathetic look at their problems, at their issues, and when we have these gatherings here, again and again the issues come up.
That's depend on all overseas Pakistanis, how they react. If they are together like one group, and any Pakistani minister or prime minister came to USA, UK, any overseas country, so they must go and they can raise their voice and they raise their questions, and so this is the easiest way in Pakistan. Otherwise, if you divide, so you fall. United, you stand.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, so basically, what you're saying is, get.
It's a community problem.
Yes. Community problem.
Because there's a lot of groups. I saw in New York, everybody is, leg pulling with others. So that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, like Pakistan, we also have lots of.
If you together, so either the government must,
But I think politicians, politicians have also their share in this.
So we are doing our best.
Division.
See, MKM is doing is best for overseas Pakistani, because we know a lot of overseas Pakistani as a member of parliament from the MKM side, like Abdul Mueed, like Haider Abbas Rizvi, like Raza Haroon, many others. They all do national overseas Pakistanis, and we have a quota for them in parliament. So, but now due to the problem of the dual nationality, so
the point that I was
no other parties have an overseas quota.
I see. This is the MKM quota that you have.
Started that in provincial assembly, in national assembly, in senate. So bring Pakistanis, overseas Pakistani to Pakistan and give them ticket to participate in the election.
One touchy subject is that almost every Pakistani political party has a chapter in America and Europe and the Middle East. And that's also one of the reasons that these groups fight with each other, because they represent different political philosophies and ideas. Do you think, is it a good idea to have these chapters?
Definitely, one chapter, Pakistan chapter. but they should be. Unfortunately, Pakistan is the only country where in the constitution of Pakistan, we divided Pakistani in different quota. And we always saying that we are not a one nation. How can we become a one nation when you divided in constitution of Pakistan as a Pakistani, that you are there's some quota for Punjab, some quota for Balochistan, some quota for, it means you are not a one nation. There should be merit. Every job should be a Pakistani citizen and on merit. Like in US, if you saw in a job for the federal government in the newspaper, so requirement is US citizen only. There is no quota for California, Texas, Nevada, Washington. They have also backward states.
Yeah, but
that's the policy. So policy should change in Pakistan, and we are fighting for this, that for become a one nation, we must abolish all these kind of quotas and other things, and merit should prevail, and everybody is equal, everybody is Pakistani. Then you will see in overseas,
merit is always
then
of
you
course
will see in overseas as a one group will stand like Indians and other as a one nation. So we should,
merit is always a good idea, but even in America, there is an affirmative action that some of these underprivileged communities, African Americans, they have quota in schools, in
that's
jobs.
That's a different thing. They issue a special fund for the development of schools, colleges, and make a university. That's a difference. They don't want to, create a problem for the other organizations on the quota basis system.
I mean, coming back to my question, that do you think
I agree.
The political parties should
agree on your this point that there should be one chapter as a Pakistani chapter, but maybe we have a different chapter of the different political parties. But on the issue of Pakistan, we all won. So we all won, and we should look like one.
Ghori Sahab, going back to again, we were discussing America. Now let's go back to Pakistan. What are your immediate plans after? I mean, of course, you're in the opposition. Any chances of in Sindh or in the center coming closer to the government circles? I'm not just asking outright joining, maybe joining hands on some issues and then.
We have a good relation with Nawaz Sharif Saab as a working relationship. Doesn't matter we are in a position. So for the betterment of the Pakistan, for the betterment of the Sindh province and Karachi, we have a good relationship with the federal government, and we also want to make a good relationship with the other parties, and especially in Sindh. Naturally, there are two parties over there, the People's Party and MQM in majority. So they should go together. Either we are in a position, so that People's Party, I think as a responsible party, they should respect the mandate of the urban Sindh. And right now there is no actions, they are low, or there is no, I can say, that participation of the urban people in the cabinet of Sindh, in the federal cabinet. So that's we are facing a problem, and we discussed with Mr. Zardari in Dubai, and he promised me, no, we will not ignore the urban areas people, but there is no result right now.
Ghori Sahab, through your interaction with the community, Pakistani American community, what do you think the community can do to help Pakistan-US relations? Right now, these relations are, up and down, up and down. It seems like a roller coaster ride.
Fazbhai, you already know that you also in Washington, D.C., and a lot of Pakistani, they are doing their job for the good relation between Pakistan and US. But problem is in Pakistan, not with the community. They are doing their job. In Pakistan, we can't control the extremism. Always, whenever we need any help, America is ready for them. Almost over $1 billion, so they are giving to Pakistan. At the time of crisis, like earthquake in Kashmir, all helicopters were from, US helicopters was there. At the time of flood, the US relief is there. Any assistance on the power generation, the raising of the Mangla Dam or at the time of other dams, US is there. So why we are against the always or blame on US? So first we should our house in order, like we have to control the extremism from the area of Pakistan when there are some foreign elements, they are doing some terrorist activities in the name of Islam from Pakistan in the other part of the world. So that's why we
these
have
problems
some
basically,
makes
it more
these kind of problems we are facing, like in relations and other things, only for because of these elements. So that's our duty. That's not overseas Pakistani's duty. It's our duty. We should make to control, or we should take steps to control these kind of.
So this is also one of the reasons why there is so much anti-Americanism in Pakistan.
Because there is one more thing, that some political, some Islamic extremist parties, they want to use this thing as a slogan to get votes from the like uneducated people. The educated people of the like Lahore, Karachi, Islamabad, they know these Maulvis and the extremist Maulvis are using the slogans against the US. So now, if, for example, many Pakistanis in Saudi Arabia from last 40 years, they are not citizens of Saudi Arabia. They are also Muslims. But in USA, if you are, over here legally within 5 years, so you can get a US passport. So now nobody is talking about this in Pakistan. How they are helping Pakistanis in USA. So these are the issues. So people of Pakistan, especially the government of Pakistan, that's their duty to explain them.
But a lot of Pakistanis believe, and actually they say that we're not against America per se. We are against its policies. So and there's some of the policies, of course, you can disagree with. It's not necessarily all the time.
Definitely, every country has their own rights to make their policy for its own interests. Pakistan also can make. If Pakistani policies, some of policies, the US against the US policies, so definitely you will face the music.
Exactly. Well, I think that brings our program to an end. Ghori Sahab, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks for your coffee.
Absolutely.